You open an app on your phone, you tap play, and instantly a movie starts. But that movie isn't actually on your phone. If you looked inside your device's memory, you wouldn't find a file cabinet packed with thousands of full-length films. Instead, every time you hit that button, your phone has to reach across the internet and ask a distant, powerful computer, a server, to send the video data to you. So how does a simple app know exactly how to ask that massive server for one specific file out of millions? The answer is something called an API. APIs are the invisible messengers behind the scenes. They carry requests into the digital world and bring answers right back to your screen. To see exactly how this works, let's step away from the phone for a moment and imagine you're sitting at a table in a restaurant. In this scenario, you, the customer, represent the front end. That is the app or website you actually see and interact with. Back behind closed doors is the kitchen, representing the backend. This is where the heavy lifting happens and where all the raw ingredients, the data, are stored. When you decide what you want to eat, you don't walk into the kitchen to cook it yourself. The two zones are completely separated for efficiency and security. You need a middleman to bridge that gap. You need a waiter. And in the software world, the waiter is the API. Telling the waiter what you want is the request. The waiter takes your order and walks it to the kitchen. Once prepared, the waiter carries the meal back to you. This return trip is the response. That entire trip is an API's sole purpose: safely carry a request to a system and deliver the correct response back to you. Instead of carrying pizza, a digital API carries data. To do that, it uses a digital version of the waiter's order ticket. This is a digital request. To make sure the kitchen understands the order, the API organizes it into 4 parts. Think of the URL as the kitchen's address and the method as the action, like get to see a menu or post to send an order. The headers are like the fine print, telling the server who is asking, while the body is the actual content of the order, like your username or specific pizza toppings. Once the server reads this ticket and finds the data you asked for, it has to package it up to send it back. It uses a format called JSON. Think of this as a very organized delivery box. It uses simple labels and values so your phone can instantly understand exactly what's inside. Whether it's a physical meal or a digital file, the logic remains the same. A clear request goes in and an organized response comes out. Let's watch this happen in real time on a social media feed. The second you open the app, your screen is initially blank. The front end immediately asks the API to fetch the latest posts. The API sprints to the back end. The server dives into a database, grabs the correct profile pictures, the text captions, and the current like counts. The API catches that bundle of data and races back, dropping it onto your screen so the app can draw the images and text. That smooth experience of scrolling through photos is the result of hundreds of these rapid-fire request and response loops happening every minute. APIs allow entirely different companies and systems to speak the same language. Your weather app, for example, doesn't have its own satellites. It uses an API to ask a government database for the current temperature in your city. Or think about a rideshare app. When you see your driver on a map, that map is actually being provided by Google. The rideshare app uses an API to borrow that map data and show it to you. Without these universal translators, applications would be isolated. They wouldn't be able to share information or work together. APIs are the digital bridges that make the modern, connected internet possible. It all comes down to a simple formula. The front end asks, the back end responds, and the API is the bridge connecting them. This happens billions of times every single second, all around the globe. So the next time you tap a screen or check a map, you don't have to wonder how it works. You know exactly who the messenger is.